I spent $300,000 on random crap to be more attractive in the last couple years. I'm going to give you the breakdown on the 10 accessories, and we're going to rank every single one so that you know where you should invest your money in yourself, where you're going to get a return on it, and know it's an absolute mistake. Because a lot of people think, oh, just get a penthouse or get a car or whatever, and you're set. And I have not found that to be the case. I'm just gonna give you the honest to God, no holding back truth on what I found to be effective in my life. What's up? If you're new to the channel, my name is Madison, formerly international dating coach. Been to 125 cities, teaching 720 live programs around the globe, actually 736. And I've been studying self-development as a student for about 16, 17 years. So what I really focus on is a great quality of life, great quality of lifestyle, and how it impacts my relationships. Before I did the whole dating coaching thing, I was in the fashion industry. I worked as a fashion marketer for a lot of brands, either fashion weeks or runway shows with haute couture designers. And I also was in the music industry. I was a producer. I produced on Universal Records. And I had an opportunity to step in the promotion scene and see movie stars and behind the scenes and everything like that. And that was a great lifestyle. I enjoyed it. When I started teaching social skills, I taught how to make an amazing lifestyle for yourself. So let's just get straight into it, okay? Nothing to sell you here, just gonna give you the facts. Here's what I found to be the best things when it comes to improving your social life, having a great lifestyle, all right? I spent $300K, so you don't have to. So lots of info here, and feel free to debate anything I say in the comments down below. The first thing you're probably thinking about is a watch, right? You're thinking, if I get a Rolex, that would be dope. I often thought that. I'm like, yo, let me get a Rolex Datejust. That's the original opening version of a Rolex you can get for about 5K USD. And I said, if I get that, how would it change my life? Well, women will find it more attractive. And also, I think I was telling myself guys would also look at the watch and be like, yeah, that's somebody I can trust. That's somebody I want to do business with. And to be honest, I had a nice watch. It was like an upper end Armani watch for $1,000. And I found absolutely no difference. It did nothing for me. Being on camera in business, nobody stopped me. They're like, oh, that's a nice watch. That was it. Like in personal life, nobody wanted to do a business deal with me. I could see the point in like getting a Rolex though. I could see like if it comes down to you and another guy for a business deal and the third person's looking at you, they might think, oh, look at that Rolex. Yeah, I'm gonna do business with him because he's trustworthy and this is a guy that gets things done, right? So that's a possibility, but in my experience, I haven't seen it. If you wanted to test that theory, you could just go buy a fake Rolex like down in Thailand. I heard they have amazing ones for like $200 or $300. Just do that and see if it improves your business life or your networking or connections. But if somebody can tell it's fake, then that's not gonna help. All these things on the list I'm going to give you. That's, by the way, I rate the Rolex a 3 out of 10. 10 being the highest it can get, the best result. 3 being the 0 being the lowest. It's a 3. Everything I'm going to tell you here on this list, it's not that it makes your life better. It's that not having it makes your life worse. So, for example, being out of shape makes your life worse. You lose results by being a dirty person, not being fashionable, right? It's like, these are not things that stop you from having a great life, but if you don't have them addressed in some way or you're bad and deficient in these areas, I could see it making your life not good. And I can see you losing a lot of attraction with people that you want to have an attractive, situation with, relationship, dating, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. All right, so I'm trying to get this list here to work on the screen. It's kind of challenging the way I have OBS set up, but we'll go through anyways. The next one, I'm going to rate teeth. Super important. I did not realize how much it was. So you see, I got my teeth done. Got the Colgate smile. Teeth are very important. My whole life, I had terrible teeth, all right? You might watch my videos, watch my teeth change over the last few years. I had Invisalign. I got Invisalign probably 4 years ago at the beginning of the pandemic. And then I couldn't even go to the dentist to get the proper trays after the pandemic. The dentist offices opened and then they closed again. It was a nightmare. I had my teeth done in Thailand as well, which meant I had to like fly back and forth every time. And Invisalign, they lie to you a lot. They will say to you, oh, you don't need to get what's called realigners. They'll say it can do everything. It can. I'm about 40 years old. My jaw was tight. I had a crossbite. The plastic aligners don't fix it the way they say to. They lie to you. They just tell you whatever to sell you the Invisalign. Now all of a sudden I'm going back and forth like 3-4 times to Thailand for these realigners and to get adjustments and everything. It's annoying. It was a complete waste of time. I would have just gotten regular braces as a younger adult, and that would have been a lot smarter. Anyways, I decided to get veneers done. What was the value in it for me? I'm on camera all the time, right? Veneers, good teeth, good smile, makes you trustworthy. Make sure people can like look at you and say, this is a guy that takes care of himself. So you look hygienic. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's a better return on investment. Because let's say you get your teeth done. I don't know where you get it done. You can go to Colombia. You can go to Istanbul, Turkey. You can get it done in North America. Depending on where you get it done, it could pay you back in your career. If you're doing door-to-door sales, for sure. If you work in business face-to-face networking, for sure get it done. Like, just have the best smile possible. In my dating life, it didn't really change very much, but the people who were attracted to me already, I noticed were more attracted to me. I noticed like every day I get a $3 to $5 like return on the teeth. It's kind of funny. Like basically every day I'll go to a restaurant and I'll like order some food and I'll say, hey, put the sauce on the side, or like I'll say, hey, could you make 2 of these? And very often I'll get the little extra thing for free, or they'll follow the order good and not mess it up. So it makes my day better. I went to the gym the other day. I had to get a fob at the gym, a little copy card thing. It cost $11. They thought I didn't pay it. I just smiled. I'm like, of course I paid it. And they're like, yeah, great. Like, so little small things like that, I noticed it helps you out. I say a 3 to 5% return, $3 to $5 return every day. You know, after several months, I think it's worth it. I got as white as possibly I could. My skin tone, they say to match it to your eye color. I got it as white as I possibly could for a black guy, but I know that it will fade over some time. And so that's what I'm counting on. So it's exactly how I want it. I think it's a great investment. I notice people treat me differently. Places I go, I get more trust. When I walk into a room of older white men, they're like, yes, sir, right away, sir. I get a lot more sirs in the day. It's kind of funny. So I'm going to give teeth a 7 on 10 rating. The next thing, hair transplant. Well, I don't have a hair problem, right? But I've talked to a lot of guys that do. At the most, I think I got like another good 5 years of hair. And then I noticed it's slightly thinning. I think it will probably eventually be gone in like 5 years. I'll have the patch, the big circle. And at that point, it'll be time to like shave it bald and just rock it out bald with a beard. I know black guys can pull it off really well. You might have noticed that too. And being bald is not a terrible thing when you can accept it. It's like, it's the guys that aren't accepting it. You know, the hairline is like, how we go. The hairline's like going back to here and they're like not accepting it. So one or the other, get the hair transplant or don't. Commit to baldness or don't. Go fully in. From people that I do know that have had a hair transplant, I know about 3 or 4 guys personally in my life that are my friends, and they feel great about it. I don't know if people are necessarily acting totally different to them, but they feel great about it, and they did a lot for their confidence, and they noticed a change in their life. So the hair transplant, you can do it. It's going to cost you not too much if you go to like a Turkey or Istanbul or a Colombia to do it. It's going to be worth the price. I say you get a return on that investment. We're going to give it a 5 on 10. Here's a huge one. Next one, motorcycle. So I got a motorcycle like a year and a half ago. It's always been my passion. I actually have a dream vision board up on the ceiling there that includes teeth. It includes me making $100,000 a year. Includes a penthouse. Includes giving a TED talk. All the things I did, right? Everything in my life I wanted to accomplish. I did it on that vision board. And a motorcycle was one of them. For the longest time, I wanted a motorcycle. And this motorcycle, I'm like, I'm going to get it. It's going to be great. I get to be passionate. I get to go on highway drives at like 1 o'clock in the morning down to the airport. I love driving to the airport for some reason. It's weird, but I just get a kick out of it because like the best roads are usually pretty new. You got some turns. And I get this motorcycle. I'm thinking I'm going to have like dates on the back of the motorcycle. We're going to go up to like the mountain and like pitch a tent, or not a tent, a camping thing. We're going to get some picnic out. Like it's going to be great. Nobody cared about this at all, bro. I even bought like an extra helmet on Amazon. I'm like, let me try it. It's got a 30-day return. Let me try this helmet out, see what happens. I took this Colombian girl on a date, and I took this somebody else on a date. To the first person, the Colombian girl didn't care because she's like from Colombia. She's on motorcycles all the time. Didn't even give me the courtesy like of the motorcycle. Was trying to direct where I go. Turn here, do this, do that. A backseat driver on a motorcycle. Can you imagine that? Wild. And the other person liked me already, and it made no difference. But it was their first experience getting on a motorcycle. I could not convince more people to get on the motorcycle. Many girls did not prefer it because they said, "Oh, I'm wearing a dress. Oh, I'm wearing a skirt. It's inconvenient to sit that way." Or there's a reason for it, right? "Oh, it's going to be cold. I did my hair a certain way." So the motorcycle didn't actually add any benefit. And I don't think it made me that attractive. Like, people weren't DMing me about the bike. Just all the dudes were like, "Nice bike, bro. What about the lights on that? What is that? How many cc's?" All the guys cared. None of the women cared. Did not make me more attractive at all. I am going to give the motorcycle a sad 2 out of 10. The next thing, a car. So this is really wild in my life. I've been thinking about this a lot because I don't own a car. I have not owned a car in 5 years, maybe more, probably 7 years. I used to have the Mercedes ML350, which is a Mercedes truck, one of the bigger ones. And I love this car. You do everything with it. I used to take my car to have dates and go drive up the mountain and drive out of town, take my family to New York. Like, I just love this car. But this weird thing is happening now because I've traveled so much. I don't have a car, and women constantly look down on it. I feel like making this into a post and be like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer that I actually have a car and then we're stuck to one place? Because I'm not going to leave the car parked for like 3-4 months of the year. Your battery dies, the oil needs change. It's just a really bad idea. I've done it before. I've had a car parked 3-4 months of the year as I'm traveling. Not a good idea. If you're going to park your car 3 or 4 months, don't even have a car. Just Uber when you need to, or do a ride share. So I feel like telling women, like, hey, do you want me to have a car, or do you want to live this dream setting backpacker digital nomad lifestyle where we're taking 12 vacations a year? Because if you want these 10 vacations a year, you can't have a car. The two things don't go together. They really don't. They're actually a hindrance to each other, and they hold you back from having a good life. You don't enjoy it. You just have more problems. I would be somewhere and I'd be calling my bro, "Hey man, could you move my car? Could you make sure the lights are on? Like, unplug the battery, we replug it back in. Could you just drive it around the block a little bit? Could you do this? Make sure it doesn't have a parking ticket." It was annoying. Anyways, besides the point, little rant there. To get back on topic, will a car change your life? Yes, because I've had friends of mine that say, hey, they want to plan a social event, and they will go and they will pick up everybody on the way to the social event. Or they'll say, everybody go to this person's house. They pick up all the friends at the designated person's house, and then they continue to the event. So the car makes a difference. It adds a logistic to your life, allows you to see friends, family, allows you to pick up, if you're dating somebody, pick them up after work. What time do you finish work? 11. I'll come pick you up. I'll pull through. That integrates you in their life. And some of the best relationships I've had, now that I think about it, have been when I had a car and have dramatically been improved. I don't think you need the most baller car. I think you just need something that's functional and clean. Functional and clean. It doesn't have to be amazing. It just can't be bad. And we'll talk more about that in the future, by the way, this functional and clean idea. You don't want to get somebody who's using you for a badass car just because they think you're balling. You want to get somebody who likes you because of you. And the car is just a facilitator of that relationship. So we're going to give the car a 7 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. 7 out of 10. Next thing, Penthouse. Do you want a baller penthouse? Will it change your life? Will it absolutely upgrade you? All right, here's the real deal. I have had a baller penthouse. There was a place in Toronto called the Thompson. Okay, it was like a hotel, kind of like the Ritz-Carlton or something like one of these types of places. Club in the basement, restaurant, swimming pool in the same building, and then a rooftop bar. And I had the penthouse right below the rooftop bar. And let me tell you, in terms of my life, it was amazing for meeting new people. It dramatically allowed me to meet people upstairs, come downstairs with them, meet people at the restaurant, bring them upstairs. I had a lot of opportunities. We'll say that, okay? But it did not change my actual relationships. Oddly enough, people that are busy were just always busy. And people that I wanted to have a serious long-term relationship with, they didn't become more regular. They were literally about the same. I was surprised. I thought like having the penthouse would make the difference. It's not. It's really where your place is logistically located. If you were central and you are downtown, amazing. Great. Central and you're downtown, you're doing all the right things. But having this penthouse did nothing for me. And we were spending, I think, $5,000 each in rent for the month. I've also had the opportunities of living in several mansions with the crew, right? I lived in Owen's house and a couple other mansions in Los Angeles, the Hollywood Hills. And it's a big logistic nightmare to get up there. Sometimes people don't want to come see you because you have the house on the hill. They know it's going to take 20 minutes. And then late at night, like 11 o'clock, 12, it's hard to get an Uber back down. There's not a lot of reception. There's just a whole bunch of challenges, especially when you bring, let's say you have a date, you bring the date over, the date's like, who's the landlord of this place? What's your square footage? How much does it cost? All of a sudden, they become real estate agents when they go up to your house. It's just, it's not as good as you think it is. It's not. So for that reason, we give the Penthouse a very medium number of 5 out of 10. All right. Next thing, travel. The ability to see the world, travel. We talked about it slightly before. Seeing the world, getting out there, enjoying yourself, getting experiences. Great for you, bad for relationships. Let me explain. When I used to travel, I'd be in 35 cities a year. I traveled 35 weeks out of 52 weeks of the year. People would watch it. Like, that's amazing. I wish I could do what you do. But when you present the opportunity to join you on a trip, they don't usually come because they have their designated things that they got to do throughout the week. Their job, their work, their dog, their career, whatever. So you have this amazing life that people can't get into. Now, if the person was a digital nomad, it would help definitely. But the average person will look at that lifestyle and not be able to actually make the sacrifices to have that lifestyle. For example, I had an uncle pass away one time when I was traveling across the ocean. And my aunt is like, you don't need to come back because you're going to miss the funeral anyways. He's cremated. You're going to miss that. And what's happened has happened. And then you got to fly back out. There's no point in you doing that. We can still talk over the phone and video chat. Right? So having that abundant travel lifestyle is not for everybody that wants to come and join it. They're not cut out for it. They don't know the sacrifices of it. It makes you more attractive on the outside, but it actually makes your relationships harder because you miss out on key things with your family. And if you have a relationship that's romantic, like a girlfriend or boyfriend, you're not going to be there for certain things like helping them to move the furniture, drinks on a Sunday night, just beers, just wasting time on the rooftop. You're not going to be there for that stuff. So because you're not there for it, actually traveling is a benefit and it's a hindrance to your lifestyle. So for actual attraction, yeah. For actual functionality of a relationship, no. So I'm going to give travel a 5 out of 10. Next one, the gym. Being fat will hurt you. Not being fat is the best. Being in shape is even better. But we're looking at it from like, what do you want to invest your time and energy into? You don't got to be ripped. You just got to not be in shape, because when you're not in shape, it says bad things about your discipline. It says bad things about your control of what you put into your mouth. It says that you are not a person that is committed to things, right? And it says a lot about your health signals, your honest signals of health. So it's not that you got to be in shape. You just got to not be out of shape. Dig what I'm saying? Same thing with your clothes. It's not that your clothes have to be the best. It's just that your clothes have to not be terrible. Have a look about you. Your looks say more about you than what you can say verbally. It's a non-verbal communication about yourself as a person. Your looks speak for you before you open your mouth. And sometimes people will want to give you a chance or not give you a chance depending on how you present yourself. You don't have to be good looking. You just have to have a look. So right now we're rocking the glasses here. These are the old style, old money glasses with like the nice material polo. You can get a polo, but it's the fact that it's woven that I like about it. You can get glasses, but it's the fact that the whole thing works together in a very like, I look like I'm about to go drive topless Porsches around Monaco. This is the look, right? So you got to have a whole look about you. And the gym helps with that, helps to achieve that aesthetic that you're going for, whatever that avatar may be. So the gym actually makes sense, and it gives you great vitality to your life. Costs you like $25, $30 a month, depending on where you are. We're going to go and give the gym a good 6 out of 10. Good 6 out of 10. Might be surprised. The gym is actually more useful than a penthouse. The gym is more useful than a motorcycle. The gym is more useful than a hair transplant. But so far, what we got, the number 10, the top ones are the car and the teeth. Now, the next one's going to be the highest on the list that's feasible for everybody, depending on what financial bracket you're in, is going to be Instagram ads. When I started running over the last 2 years, yes, it was 2 years. I'm not jumping on this bandwagon lately. Everybody's talking about Instagram ads to promote your social life and dating life. I was doing this 2 years ago. I just never talked about it publicly. I have videos of me teaching in Israel, never talking about it. There's guys that have programs that are out that are friends of mine that we talk about in private for the longest time, but I'm just talking about it publicly now because I'm ready to. I formulated all my ideas into a lifestyle and social circle hacking strategy. So in my system, I talk about how to use Instagram ads to promote your lifestyle, meet new friends, network with millionaires, or to find a romantic partner. It's incredibly useful. The dollar cost average of what you're gonna spend is incredibly worth it. You might spend $200 on Instagram a month if you're in a first world country. If you're in a second or third world country, you can spend $50 a month and see an amazing result. It could single-handedly be the thing that transforms your life if you know how to do it well. I'm sad I didn't figure this out 4 years ago. It would have been amazing. Only figured this out about 2-3 years ago, and it's been incredible. Instagram ads to improve the quality of your life and your lifestyle. For the dollar, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least on the list, number 10, the last one here, we're gonna do accessories that make every man more attractive. I got these accessories to dramatically change my life, and there was a huge result for people that myself and people that I know. Number 10 on the list is a boat. We know it was gonna be there. Boating. I'm looking for a man in finance, 6'5", blue eyes, and a boat. I'm looking for a sugar daddy with a boat. So I actually don't have the boat. I've been looking at boats lately because I think it'd be just great to have as a young black man. I think it's just so out there. Great experience to bring people together, right? You can always get your crew to come with you together if you have a boat. If you have a car, it could happen as well. I'll pick you up. But the boat is like everybody comes to you. I don't have one. I've been on my friends that have several yachts, and I think it's amazing. But you got to be the person that owns the boat. You have to be the captain. I'll explain. My buddies say, yeah, there'll be club promoters, there'll be guys that know a lot of people, they'll even bring a lot of lady friends to the boat. And as soon as the women get on the boat, they want the person at the top of that status hierarchy. And so whatever value you have in bringing them, you lose it. It straight goes to the captain. Captain always gets first pick. Captain is running the show. Because think about it, it's like you're literally like in a guy's frame and everybody is in his frame for 3 or 4 hours. You don't like it, you can't even get off. Or you can try to swim back to shore. You know, try that out, see how that goes. You're not gonna like it very much, right? So the boat captain has all the power, and the longer you're on the boat, you're losing the frame. It's just like, it just goes downhill in that way, right? So if you're on the boat, you're just a participator on the boat, it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10. If you are the boat captain, it will be an 8 out of 10, all right? So I'm gonna give you my tally up here, because I said, yeah, $300,000 worth to spend. I'm not saying everybody has to spend this. This $300,000 that I spent it approximately over the course of 7 years, maybe, divided up in different areas. I could give you a good budget on what you should spend. A watch, if you're gonna get one, get a Rolex Datejust. That's gonna cost you $5K. Your teeth, depending on where you go. If you go to Colombia, you can get a full set of 20 veneers for $5K. Hair transplant, you go to Turkey, I think you do for about the same, $5K. Motorcycle, not even worth doing, but if you do it, you can get a pretty cheap motorcycle, about $2.5K if you get a Kawasaki Ninja. If you get a car, get an Infiniti G Series, or you can get like, something nice, an Audi A6, something like that. It's not gonna cost you more than $4 grand. Don't go any higher than that. If you get a apartment, you don't gotta get the penthouse, just get something centrally located downtown. You can choose whatever price tag you want for that. If you travel, I traveled and I spent way too much on traveling. It was part of my job. I spent about $200,000, I think, up to $250,000 traveling in the last 8 years. And that money mostly went into hotels, food, because when you're traveling, you're eating out 3 times a day, right? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you don't have an Airbnb, you cannot cook. And I also would bring friends and family and people I'm dating with me. So I spent way too much on that. I think I would dial it back in half. You don't have to have that many experiences. Again, I was on the road more than half the year. Gym, gonna cost you $30 a month. Do that. It's a no-brainer. It's gonna help your mental health and your clarity as well. Be a focused dude. IG ads, if you're in a third or second world country, you can spend $50. If you're in a first world country, spend $200. on it per month. And boat, we'll just leave it out. Meet a friend of the boat. Meet somebody with a boat, and that's all you got to do, all right? So let me know what you think about this list. Write what you think is useful down below. I would also prefer you share this video with somebody or you drop a like on it, because that helps the YouTube algorithm the most. And I want this to get into the right algorithm. If you're the first time seeing my content, you like what you're seeing, you want to get in my algorithm, the Madison algorithm, liking and sharing the video does more than even commenting, okay? It's a huge change to it. It gives YouTube the right signals that you like this kind of content. And it costs you nothing. It does me a huge favor and gives you everything that you want, all right? I'm not here to sell you anything today, just give you some pure info and put you up on game, all right? That's it for now. And as always, may the light forever be with you. Cheers.